Here we go. So we're going to talk a little about the Colts because we're getting comments about how the offensive line was so bad last year and there's not much of a change this year, and we're going to be weak there as well as our cornerbacks. And yes, our defense is going to be struggling a little bit unless these young rookie defensive backs can play really, really well. So we'll have to see what happens on our defense. But our offensive line, I don't think is that big of a weakness. And we're about to get into it so I can explain why.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind.
This is Here We Go Sports on July the 6th, 2023. Appreciate you joining me. We're going to talk about the Colts. So the offensive line of the Colts last year is where a lot of people are saying we had most of our problems, because quarterback play really was not that good, but they were being constantly rushed. All three quarterbacks just did not have a chance in hell, basically, is what everybody's saying. And this is what I'm talking about right here.
Hey, Skip, yeah, is that right?
I was looking at it, and they said the Colts roster is like 30th or 32nd worst in the AFC. Okay. Let me ask you this. So how does it not become that? And I looked at Alec Pierce. I said, how does all of a sudden this roster go to, well, you know what? We are better than what people think. Those positions.
Yeah, you have to.
Right.
You can't go out there with 9.
Unless you get rid of get a fullback in there and get rid of the tight end. So somebody is either going to emerge and make the roster that much better, or they're going to do exactly what national people are expecting the Colts to do, which is just be bad. The worst roster in the AFC according to ESPN's whatever.
And I love, two big brains. It's great. I agree with what most of them say, but what they say about most things. But they're talking about the Colts offensive line back in 2021, which everybody was saying it was so good. And I think we were in the top 10 offense out there at the time. We were like 22nd in our actual per play when it comes to passing, because we were averaging, I think, 7 yards a pass, or I think it was actually 6.5 or something. It was something really, really low. We had Carson Wentz at the time, and it just wasn't flowing. Most of our yards came from the run play, which our offensive line opened up holes for. So what's different about this year versus 2021? Number one, let's get into last year. So number one, last year, he trades off and lets go 2 of our tight ends, and they were extremely good blocking tight ends. So they came out of the rotation. So I honestly think those 2 pieces is part of the reason why our run game was struggling a little bit more than normal, and our pass blocking was not as good. That can easily be fixed. I think it was in the process of being fixed when Saturday came in, but there was a lot for him to do with very little time, and he was kind of being choked off on stuff that he wanted to do because he only had what he was handed to him. He couldn't really change a whole lot. The only thing he could do is just kind of changing scheme a little bit, kind of narrowing the playbook, and teaching the best he can to the best of his ability with the little bit of limited time he had with the team. So our offensive line did start to get better toward the end of the season last year. And I'm not saying that Jeff Saturday should have been the coach. Not what I'm saying, although I think he would have been a good coach. There's no way of knowing it one way or the other. Not here to argue with you guys. What I am saying is that it did improve. So I think the personnel is still there. And I think that you make the argument our offensive line can be extremely good. Could be extremely good. I don't see that much of an issue with our offensive line. Now, our offensive line, I think, could be really good. I don't know how good they're going to be, but we have a mobile quarterback now. So I think we're just going to be, because honestly, as good as Kansas City is, they get a lot of play from their quarterback being mobile and being able to get rid of the ball after he gets pushed out of the pocket. And I don't think their offensive line is as good as as the numbers look. I think numbers look as good as they do because of the quarterback play. So I think that the Colts' offensive line is going to be better, and I think it's going to look better as long as Richardson can keep his sixth sense on what's coming in behind him, if there's a rush coming at him or what have you, so he can kind of be a little loose and be mobile back there. That is my opinion, just because I've seen a lot of people talk about how bad the Colts' offense is going to be, how bad they're going to suck. I'm not saying we're going to be good. We got a rookie quarterback, a rookie receiver, 2 rookie defensive backs. It's kind of like hands in the air. What might happen, what might not happen. I personally think they're going to win 7 to 10 games. 10 games can be won. They need to win the first one for that first step on that ladder to get to 10 games. But they're most likely going to win 7. I got no problem with that. Now, as good as our offensive line was, without quarterback in 2021, without quarterback play, you're not going to get as many wins as you should. So, how ready Richardson is depends on how many wins we get. Because Carson Wentz only got us 9 wins. We went 9-8, and honestly, we should have went 12-5. So, I don't get it. Carson Wentz thing just kind of blew up in our face. He looked brilliant at times, and then he looked like an idiot at times, which I think that's what Richardson's going to kind of look like, because he, from what I understand it, is purposely trying to squeeze it into tight windows, so in double coverage, everything right now in practice, where he can make those mistakes. It's not a big deal, but I think he's trying to get timing down and speed down on how fast he has to throw the ball for live games. So I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see how things go, but I don't think our offensive line is going to necessarily be the issue. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, but I will catch you guys on the next one. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button so you can get notifications when I post. And please hit the like button, because the more likes I get, the more this kind of goes around on YouTube, because YouTube's little math plan that they have for all these videos, you gotta get the like button hit. So anyhow, you guys have a good one, and I will catch you guys on the next one.